Hi traders, I'm Teeds, this is Nuts, and I have something super exciting for you. I have some special leaks, and it looks so good. I would just like to make a quick disclaimer that leaks aren't official until officially out or announced by Pokemon Unite themselves, so please take every leak with a grain of salt until then, and they can always be scrapped or changed. With that, I just want to clear up a few misconceptions. I have mentioned this secret leaker in the past, and there's just a very small, tiny amount of people that jump to conclusions from a secret leaker sharing leaks with me. I would just like to clear up that this is not a personal leaker of mine. I do not know this person. They haven't shared their identity with me, and I will not share their identity until they want me to do that. I am not paying for any leaks either. You think I can pay with my Machamp debt? All jokes aside, I am not paying. I do not know who this person is. However, I am very grateful for that they're willing to share these leaks with the community and to all the data miners who are willing to share it as well. Alchica Eevee is our main source of data mine and leaks, so that doesn't change anything here. So huge shout out to Alchica Eevee and any data miners and leakers who are just sharing things with us. It's really, I don't know, I really love discussing leaks. I'm just somebody who's excited when I see things, and that's literally it. So with that, let's jump into it. I hope you are all excited as much as I am. So I have 3 images here. The first one we have is this picture. So I would love to know in the comments down below what abilities you think this is or what Pokemon you think this is. So what we do know is that Meowscarada is coming up in the future, I think in December, which means in November we don't have any new Pokemon coming out, which is like no Mon-vember. Good one, Tears, I know. But you can see here that it is a cone ability with a bunch of stars coming out and hitting the Lucario. It looks like the stars, like, you know, when a Pokemon is dazed. So this might deal damage and might even do some crowd control, who knows? However, if this radius does do a big amount of crowd control like that, like a daze or a stun, that is very easy to hit and a lot of crowd control. So hopefully it's not a really hard crowd control ability, because it looks like it'd be very easy to land, and I think I would rage quit from this. But it could just be like a visual decoration / choice for the ability. I don't know. I'm also not very familiar with Meowscarada's abilities because I'm still catching up on Scarlet and Violet. So I'd love to know your opinions on these images. The next one we have is this circle ability, which looks like kind of like a slash ability or a wind ability of some way, like where the Pokemon spins around and hits everything in radius around their circle. So it looks like maybe a sharp ability, like something with like sharpness to it, claws, I don't know, or like maybe a wind one. The radius is a decent size. And then last one we have is this big giant circle ability, which could honestly be the Unite move, because the whole screen goes dark, and usually with a Unite move they have a bit of a effect like that. And you can see that it's targeting the Lucario, which means something is going to hit Lucario here. But from these moves that I could see, it kind of reminds me of not a ranged character. This Pokemon looks like it will be a melee character, which probably means it's not going to be an attacker. Honestly, it kind of gives me a little bit of all-rounder speedster vibes, is my guess, but I would love to know your guesses, trainers, on what you think this could be. Maybe from these 3 images you know exactly which Pokemon it is and you can just let us all know. But all I know is that we have these abilities. We know that Meowscarada is coming out. I mean, this could just be Meowscarada's abilities. I have no idea. And then after that, it's just really unknown. We don't really know which Pokemon is coming next after that. I mean, we do know, so some more leaks, is that Miraidon and Koraidon are most likely going to be the Pokemon coming out for Pokemon Day and are likely to be free, because that's what they usually do for Pokemon Day in Celebration. So we probably are looking at Meowscarada, not these images specifically, but Koraidon and Miraidon at around February, which is going to be insanely cool. Hopefully they're not OP like Mewtwo was or Zacian was, and they're just a lot more balanced and in check. We did have leaks about Metagross at some point, but we haven't heard anything about that for such a long time now. Another Pokemon that was mentioned by Alchica Eevee was Tropius, who also hasn't made an appearance either. So I don't know if Tropius has been scrapped. I think Tropius was maybe replaced by a different Pokemon, but I don't remember who. So maybe that's why we haven't seen Tropius. But Metagross might still be coming, so who knows about that one. Another Pokemon that I think might be coming just based on the Chinese leaks / official broadcast is Piplup, because Piplup was a very ginormous big choice in the background. So it was just weird because there was a broadcast that had a lot of Pokemon Unite plushies. Now that is so specific. It is very, very, very specific to individually have Pokemon Unite plushies and put them in the background and pretty much only have Pokemon Unite plushies. There were some Pokemon, like minor ones, that were very small that were in that as well. But a really big one was that there was Piplup's big Piplup plushies, very obvious plushies, which makes me think that Piplup could be a Pokemon that's coming to the game. This is because Pokemon Unite is releasing in China, so they're putting a lot of resources and effort into the Chinese version. And in my past experience of games releasing in China, they do tend to release like things catered to China. Now there are some like, I would say, country favorites of Pokemon. I have no idea if Piplup is like China's favorite Pokemon, but in Valorant, they have recently released Valorant in China, and there is a Chinese agent in Valorant called Sage already. However, they've decided to make another Chinese agent in celebration of Valorant being released in China, and that agent is called ISO. They also did a whole big event for this. They released like a Chinese themed gun skin, had a Chinese themed event. It's not uncommon for games to do this when their game gets released in China because it is such a huge market for them. It is such a big market. There's a lot of money that can come from China for them. So they really want to nail this. And Pokemon Unite is putting a lot of resources in this, in my opinion, because they really want to nail the release in China. I mean, they already have a ton of people signing up in China, and I wouldn't be surprised if they were releasing a Pokemon that may be a favorite of the people in China. So that is just one thing I'm thinking of, because I think Empoleon, if it is the Pokemon that's going to be released for that, I think it's a really cool choice. Kind of reminds me of like an Emperor, Empoleon Emperor, but like Emperor Penguin is a thing as well. So like maybe. And Empoleon's large horns is a symbol of leadership and strength for Empoleon. So it's a very nice choice. It sounds very elegant. China is also having a bunch of other things happen as well, like very new game modes where you can carry Pokemon on top of your heads is one. So if you want more information on that, the video will be linked down below. I also have a question to ask you, trainers. I've been getting like comments and seeing some tweets and stuff talking about how like it's nice the Mewtwo meta is not as bad as it was before, and that the patch has changed some things and it was very exciting, but they just don't feel like it's enough to like feel good. I don't know how to explain it. A lot of people were writing on this patch, so I would really like to know, if you have the time, give your thoughts about what you think about Pokemon Unite after this patch was released, because I want to have a better understanding of it for future videos. I always play in a very fun memey way, so I feel like I don't get the full feeling of some things unless they're super obvious, like Mewtwo and stuff. I will be getting my second account to Masters very soon, so that will be happening, and I'll be able to like put my input way more because I'm just doing my nuts like at the moment, everything is just too funny to me. So I would really like to know what you guys think about Pokemon Unite after the patch. Do you think it's better? Do you think they need to do more? I always think they need to do more until they do more, because I feel like they just don't do enough. So I'm really hoping that they do more. But yeah, that's all I have for this leaked video. I am very excited for this. If you'd like to keep up to date for more leaks just like this one, feel free to subscribe to the bell to be notified. Huge thanks to my Patreons. If you'd like to be a Patreon, the link is down below as well. I really appreciate all of you being here, and I can't wait to see what the next Pokemon is and all that jazz. Thanks for watching, trainers. Bye.